10 things your dog's nose can do that sound fake but aren't. That wet little nose your dog shoves into your hand, your groceries, and unfortunately sometimes your dinner plate is not just a cute face feature. It is, without exaggeration, one of the most powerful biological instruments on the planet, and some of what it can actually do sounds so unbelievable that it seems made up. So today we're going through 10 real, scientifically documented things your dog's nose can do. No exaggeration, no clickbait, just genuinely wild facts about the organ your dog uses to say hello to every single blade of grass on your walk. Let's get into it. Number 10, they smell in stereo. Each of your dog's nostrils can actually work semi-independently, sniffing and sampling scent from slightly different angles at the same time. This lets dogs figure out which direction a smell is coming from almost instantly, similar to how your two ears help you figure out where a sound is coming from. It's basically built-in surround sound, except for smell. Number 9, they can detect scent in parts per trillion. Human noses are decent at detecting strong, obvious smells. Dogs operate on a completely different scale. Some estimates suggest dogs can detect certain odors and concentrations as low as parts per trillion. To put that in perspective, that's roughly equivalent to detecting a single drop of a substance dissolved in an area the size of several Olympic swimming pools. Your dog's version of smelling something faint would be, to you, smelling absolutely nothing at all. Number 8, they have up to 300 million scent receptors. Humans have somewhere around 5 to 6 million scent receptors in our noses. Dogs, depending on the breed, can have upwards of 300 million. Bloodhounds and some scent hound breeds sit at the very top of that range, which is part of why they're the breed of choice for search and rescue work. Your dog isn't just smelling more than you, it's operating with a completely different piece of hardware. Number 7, their brain has a massive section just for smell. It's not just about the nose itself. The part of a dog's brain dedicated to analyzing smell is proportionally about 40 times larger than the same area in a human brain. Smell isn't a side feature for dogs the way it often is for us. It's closer to their primary way of understanding and reading the entire world around them. Number 6, they can smell in layers, past, present, and faint. Dogs don't just detect that a smell exists. They can pick apart layered, overlapping scents into separate pieces of information, figuring out roughly how old a scent trail is, whether multiple animals pass through, and in what order. It's less like smelling a single smell, and more like reading a whole timeline that happened in a spot you'd think was completely empty. Number 5, they have a second smelling organ you don't have. On top of their regular nose, dogs have something called the vomeronasal organ, sometimes called Jacobson's organ, tucked in the roof of their mouth. It's specifically wired to detect pheromones, chemical signals other animals give off related to things like reproductive status, stress, or territory. That weird lip-curling, slightly goofy face dogs sometimes make while sniffing something intensely. That's called the Fleeman response, and it's your dog actively using the second smell organ to gather extra information. Number 4, they can detect human emotional states through scent. Stress and fear in humans actually change our body chemistry, including subtle shifts in sweat composition. And there's real research showing dogs can detect these changes through smell alone. Some studies have found dogs can distinguish the scent of a stressed person from a relaxed one with a high degree of accuracy. So when your dog seems to magically know you're having a bad day before you've said a word, it might not be magic. It might just be your dog's nose doing actual chemistry. Number 3, they can be trained to detect disease in the human body. This one sounds like science fiction, but it's real and increasingly well documented. Dogs have been trained to detect certain cancers, and there's ongoing research into their ability to detect conditions like diabetes-related blood sugar changes and even some viral infections, all through scent alone, often at extremely high accuracy rates in controlled studies. Diseases can alter the chemical compounds a body releases in breath, sweat, or skin in ways too subtle for any human to notice, but not too subtle for a dog's nose. Number 2, their nose print is as unique as a human fingerprint. The texture and pattern of ridges and creases on a dog's nose is unique to each individual dog, similar to a human fingerprint. No two dogs have an identical nose print, even within the same litter. It's a fact so specific it sounds made up for a trivia night, but some organizations have actually explored nose prints as a legitimate form of pet identification. Number 1, they can track a scent trail that's days old, across miles. And the number 1 fact, Properly trained tracking dogs, particularly bloodhounds, have been documented successfully following scent trails that are days old, sometimes stretching for miles, even across changing terrain and weather conditions. This is exactly why search and rescue teams and law enforcement rely so heavily on scent tracking dogs. No piece of current technology fully replicates what a trained dog's nose can do in the field. Your dog sniffing every single tree on your evening walk is running a scaled-down version of the exact same system. Bonus section. Why does my dog sniff literally everything on walks? Quick tangent, since I know a lot of you have wondered this specifically. Given everything we just covered, it makes a lot more sense why a 15-minute walk sometimes turns into a 50-minute walk. Every sniff is your dog reading a small local newspaper. Who walked by? What animal marked that spot? How long ago? Whether they were stressed, whether they were another dog in heat. It's not stalling, it's mental stimulation, and honestly, some trainers specifically recommend sniff walks. Slower walks where the dog leads and sniffs as much as they want, as a legitimate form of enrichment, sometimes even more tiring for a dog mentally than a fast-paced walk is physically. Quick practical health note, since this is a pet health channel after all. A dog's nose being dry sometimes, especially right after waking up, is completely normal and not an automatic sign of illness. That old myth about a wet nose meaning healthy and a dry nose meaning sick isn't reliable. What's actually worth watching for is a nose that's persistently cracked, has ongoing discharge, is unusually swollen, or where your dog seems less interested in sniffing and exploring than usual, since a real change in smell-driven behavior can sometimes point to congestion, infection, or other issues worth a vet visit. So next time your dog spends what feels like an unreasonable amount of time smelling one specific fence post, just remember, that's not your dog being difficult. That's a biological instrument with hundreds of millions of receptors, a dedicated brain region, and a second organ you don't even have, doing something genuinely closer to reading than smelling. If this changed the way you think about your dog's next walk, let us know in the comments, and tell us the weirdest thing your dog has ever tracked down using nothing but their nose. And if you haven't already, check out our video on 10 weird dog behaviors that are actually totally normal. Turns out a lot of it connects back to this exact same nose. Subscribe for weekly pet health and behavior videos. Stay positive. See you in the next one. And